Right now at 6, San Jose's Encampment crackdown having unintended consequences.
We can't serve our customers. We just can't do it.
We'll meet a restaurant owner who says the city's housing efforts are cutting off her customers. Plus, Marin County learns it's been mistakenly overpaying employees to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I think this is a first, and I've been in this county for 11 years.
The question now, could workers have to pay it back? And it's the Festival of Lights. But new tariffs are making the margins light for Diwali.
And we're eating part of the cost.
We'll take you to a San Francisco shop trying to help customers celebrate without breaking the bank. And later,
it's sad. It seems like the end of an era.
We'll hear from neighbors hoping to take home a piece of Pleasant Hill history that came crashing down.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. We begin with a family-owned restaurant, which could become unintended collateral in San Jose's fight to end homelessness. So over the past few months, we've reported on the city's extensive efforts to clear out encampments, like at Columbus Park near the airport. Some unhoused people have been moved into temporary housing at local hotels. So one of those spots is the Allura Inn. It is on Oakland Road, just a couple miles from Columbus Park. But there's one problem. The inn shares its small parking lot with a Mexican restaurant. So our Kelsey Thord spoke with the restaurant owners who say the city's moving and the city's move is costing them customers.
Bernadette Garcia has owned and managed Los Garcia's restaurant alongside her husband, Francisco, for more than 20 years.
We make everything in-house, including our tortillas.
The two are a match made in heaven. Francisco has been cooking since he came to the U.S. from Mexico when he was just a teenager. And Bernadette comes from a family who owned a restaurant in Milpitas for 30 years. Los Garcia's means the world to them and has helped put their kids through college.
It's been our life. We've worked and worked, all of us. My husband's here from morning to close, 6 days a week, and on his day off on Monday, he's here to clean.
The restaurant has been a neighborhood favorite for decades, packed all times of the day with newcomers and regulars alike. But a few months ago, that all changed.
We can't serve our customers. We just can't do it.
Bernadette says back in July, the motel right behind her restaurant was converted by the city into temporary housing for the homeless. Her restaurant shares a parking lot with the motel. But when the city took over, they put up a fence blocking her customers from using any of the motel parking spaces.
Our guests don't have a parking. They're not able to come in and get out right away. Either they're waiting or they have to come back.
Bernadette says the reduced number of parking spaces has wreaked havoc on her business.
So if we fill up the parking spaces in what we have currently, we're halfway filled here, halfway. And that just doesn't cut it. We have half customers. And people drive in and they think we're crowded, we're overfilled, but it's because we don't have enough parking.
Bernadette told me she reached out to the city to try to work with them on getting more of the parking spaces back. We also reached out to the city. They sent us a statement saying they have spoken with the owners of Los Garcia's and that following discussions with the motel service provider, they will give 6 more parking spaces to the restaurant. It's unclear, though, if that'll be enough. Customers have rallied to support the Garcias. Jennifer Grass owns a business just down the road. She's a regular at Los Garcia's and told me she started walking here instead of driving just to keep more parking spaces open for other customers.
There's barely parking and we don't want to park illegally, so we walk now.
But even with the support of customers like Jennifer, Bernadette says her restaurant most likely won't last through the beginning of next year without an even bigger change to the parking situation. It's something she and Francisco are grappling with every day, wondering what they'll do if they lose the restaurant they worked so hard on all these years.
It's very sad. It's very, very sad for the entire family.
Bernadette also told Kelsey that her customers have tried parking across the street, but businesses over there would not allow it because they didn't want to be liable for her customers' safety. Meanwhile, across town, local officials and community members celebrated the expansion of a tiny home site. More than 100 beds were added to Rue Ferrari interim housing, doubling its capacity. The shelter is run by the nonprofit Home First. It serves as transitional housing for homeless residents. Each room has a private bathroom and a central building with laundry and a shared kitchen. The complex also has a security office, dog park, and picnic area. One formerly unhoused resident shared how this site changed his life.
Moving to Fruitvale, it's been a miracle. If you need a job or if you need anything, they will help you with job, and a lot of the stuff that we weren't able to get out there in the streets.
So the expansion cost more than $30 million, with $1 million coming from federal funding. A years-old clerical error is causing a major headache for social workers in Marin County. The county recently discovered it has overpaid nearly 24 employees by an estimated $300,000 over 3 years, and that number is rising. And now the county says it wants that money back. Our Brad Hamilton looks into the fallout from this mistake and what the workers' union says should happen.
Okay, imagine you've been making the wrong paycheck for the last 2 years, and you've just been told by your own company that you owe them money. Well, that has been the case for some Marin County workers here recently, and the mistake happens to be the employer's fault. Riley Katz has seen it all.
I've been doing this work for 47 years.
Or at least he thought.
I think this is a first, and I've been in this county for 11 years. It's certainly a first in this county.
As the executive director of the Marin Association of Public Employees, Katz represents workers now caught in the middle of a costly county error.
Very sorry we made a mistake. You owe us X dollars.
Katz wrote to the county supervisors earlier this month, warning that back in 2022, Marin County mistakenly increased pay for bilingual social service workers by about 7%. He says that raise was intended for a different group of employees, but was applied in error and left uncorrected for more than 2 years. Katz estimates that the total of overpayment is at more than $300,000 and says some workers could be on the hook for more than $20,000 each. He also points out that 9 of 20 workers impacted were hired after the mistake was made at the higher rate, which was written into their offer letter.
Suddenly got an email saying you owe us thousands of dollars and we're paying you too much. It's been very stressful for folks.
In a statement to KPIX, County Counsel Brian Washington confirmed the overpayments and wrote in part, quote, "The county acknowledges the significant financial impacts for many of the affected employees and is in active discussions with our employees and their representatives to work through these issues." Washington later added, no repayment letters have been sent and discussions are still underway about how to handle employees that were hired after August 2022. Katz says the union has now made a formal offer to the county, asking it to clear the 9 newer employees of any obligations and create a repayment plan for the 11 people who were hired before the mistake was made.
Bottom line is we're hoping the county, to use an overused cliche, will do the right thing.
Katz did want to give the county credit for owning up to the mistake, but he said any explanation for why this happened and what's being done to fix it hasn't been given just yet.
Brad, thank you. So we are 3 weeks into the government shutdown. So far, we've not seen a single sign of progress in Washington, and now some low-income people in the Bay Area could be bearing the brunt of it. Critical food assistance programs that rely on federal funds are running out of money, and people could start losing benefits as soon as next month. Many of them children and seniors. One recipient tells us he works full-time as a driver for Uber, but it's still not enough to make ends meet.
$296 doesn't get you very far when you're feeding a couple of people.
SNAP is really our nation's first defense against hunger, right? So am I going to pay my rent or am I going to buy groceries this month? Like, these are the decisions that people are going to be forced to make.
About 5.5 million Californians receive SNAP benefits. California's cutoff date to reload food stamp cards is this Thursday. Today, San Mateo and Alameda counties discussed funding plans to help those facing the loss of benefits. All right, taking a look at some other headlines around the Bay Area, starting in Santa Clara County, where firefighters say candles caused a fire that ripped through at least one apartment in Cupertino. So this happened around 10:45 last night at the Sahara Sands Apartments on Fallen Leaf Lane. One person was injured, 12 people were displaced. Santa Clara County Fire says it was accidental. But they want to remind people to never leave candles unattended and to keep them away from anything combustible. All right, now let's head to Alameda County, where an invasive mosquito species known for spreading diseases has been spotted in Dublin for the first time. So the county's Mosquito Abatement District says an adult mosquito known as Aedes aegypti was found in central Dublin. It's also known as the yellow fever mosquito, but it can carry a lot more than that, like dengue and Zika. Over the years, it's also shown up in Pleasanton, Livermore, and Fremont, as well as 26 other counties statewide. County officials warn residents to make sure they do not have any standing water. Another thing to look out for, the females will lay their eggs on the sides of containers like buckets, bird baths, potted plants, pet bowls, even kids' toys left outside. The district says it is working with Dublin officials to inspect properties near where the mosquito was found. All right, now going to Solano County, where there is a $500 reward to Vallejo to bring Tyson home. Police say this English bulldog was actually dog-napped by a couple armed with a knife. Officers say a man and woman held up the dog's owner Friday night as he was walking near Marin and Kentucky streets. He handed over his wallet with $100 inside, and then they demanded the dog, too. The suspects took off in a white four-door sedan believed to be a Honda Accord. All right, still ahead here at 6. It's getting more and more expensive to celebrate Diwali. We'll take you to a San Francisco shop trying to survive the squeeze of President Trump's tariffs.
When it gets down to the customers for these, specially imported items, we're doing our best.
And then we'll take you to the watch party outside Chase Center, where some Warriors fans are getting ready to cheer on the Dubs as they tip off the new NBA season. Basketball officially back. Tonight, the Warriors tip off the new NBA season in Los Angeles. But back here at home, this is a live look at some fans while they're getting ready to watch the game at Thrive City. The game tips off at 7. Vern will have a wrap-up tonight on the late news at 11. Pleasant Hill residents are mourning a beloved valley oak tree that fell overnight. Emergency crews worked for most of the day to clear the debris from the legacy tree outside of Hospice East Bay on Gregory Lane. The tree had been used in the Hospice East Bay's annual Tree of Light ceremony and held significance for many residents.
As I drive by it every day, I look up in the tree and I honor and remember my brother and my dad and all those that have gone before us. And this tree has a lot of special meaning to the community at large.
The Pleasant Hill Recreation and Park District says it is working with Hospice East Bay to find alternative tree candidates for this year's Tree of Lighting ceremony, currently scheduled for November 5th. A Diwali celebration is underway right now in Fremont. More than 100 people have gathered at the Gurdwara Sahib Temple. The Hindu holiday, also known as the Festival of Lights, is a celebration of good and light defeating evil and darkness. People celebrate by lighting candles, praying at temple, and of course, by eating a lot of delicious food. Volunteers say people from all walks of life are invited to come celebrate.
It gets bigger and better every year, till 2, 3 in the morning, till we have served the last.
While today's event is just a one-day celebration, Viran says in India, Diwali festivities can last up to 10 days. And people celebrating Diwali in San Francisco have been buying candles, decorations, and food to prepare for today's festivities. But a 50% tariff on Indian exports is having an impact. Our Kara St. Cyr spoke with the owners of New India Bazaar, doing their best to keep costs down for customers.
Because it's Diwali, we're getting a lot of them, so I'm running around and getting it done so that we don't have that people waiting for us too long.
Hari Bhatt is on the move, filling orders in the beginning hours of Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights.
But can I borrow the credit card machine?
New India Bazaar, the family's business, is experiencing the celebration differently this year.
Yeah, the gulab jamun I have are fresh.
More people, longer lines.
The last time I saw it like this was the rush right before COVID.
And higher prices.
Sorry, can you ring these up, please?
The Trump administration imposed a 50% tariff on the majority of Indian exports, including textiles and rice, essential items for Diwali celebrations.
We've seen anywhere between 15% to 50%. I think so the best ones are eating part of the cost, and we're eating part of the cost. And so when it gets down to the customers for these, specially imported items, we're doing our best.
Bhatt says the store stockpiled non-perishables like candles and decorations before the tariffs were imposed. But perishables like Parle G, a popular dessert, saw a 43% jump in pricing. Something Bhatt says the family didn't want to do.
Our customers are our community. We've had this shop for 30 years.
But Bhatt is encouraged by the line of customers, like Ravi Magar, who still came in for a handful of sweets.
This is barfi, laddu, gulab jamun, rasgulle, and milk cake.
Bhatt anticipates having to raise prices again if the tariffs remain.
You had asked for the Haldiram brand of milk cake. I'm sold out of that one.
But for now, his focus is on the community, a light he says nothing can dim.
So President Trump imposed that 50% tariff on India back in August after the country refused to end its oil trading partnership with Russia. We want to get to some live pictures from our chopper looking over Oakland, where it looks like at least one car crashed after a high-speed chase. This is in the Fruitvale neighborhood on Coolidge Avenue and Foothill Boulevard. You see police activity there, police cars, officers on the scene. We will certainly keep you updated as we learn more.
The fog spreading away from the coast and starting to spread out over San Francisco this evening after a day that was warm inland. A lot of low 80s on the map by the coast. Fell short of 60 degrees at Half Moon Bay. Everybody will be cool starting tomorrow. We'll take a look at our rain chances through the rest of this week coming up in the First Alert forecast.
Oh boy, we're hearing about atmospheric rivers, so let's get to the person who's going to tell us, meteorologist Paul Hagen with more on it. It's on the way, huh?
There's one that's going to be approaching us this weekend. Most of the moisture is going to go to our north, so we're not going to get a lot out of it, but we're going to get a little bit of rain over the next several days. Let's take a look at the big picture pattern and what we're going to see here on the map of the entire west coast. This is the water vapor satellite loop, is a kind of swirl in the clouds down off the coast of Southern California. That is a storm system that doesn't have access to a lot of moisture, but it's going to be tracking more or less over the Bay Area over the next 24 hours, and that's going to give us a chance for a couple of showers as we head through tonight into early tomorrow morning. Let's zoom into the Bay Area map and take a look at Futurecast. And the showers are going to be pretty few and far between. A few radar freckles here and there. They're going to pass through quickly. A lot of this is going to evaporate on the way down. So don't be surprised if you do have to fiddle with the intermittent setting on the windshield wipers and the drive to work tomorrow morning. But in terms of measurable rain, I don't think we're looking at anything more than a trace to a couple hundredths of an inch of total rainfall. The better rain chances are going to arrive by Friday night and into Saturday. But let's take a look at what things look like right now. And outside, looking out from Salesforce Tower, seeing quite a bit of fog. Don't even know which direction we're looking here. I think we're looking to the north. The fog is rolling in. Temperatures are still warm inland. It's still 77 degrees in Livermore and 78 in Concord. But Santa Rosa has dropped from 83 this afternoon to 61 degrees right now. There is the influence of that onshore breeze in the marine layer. Temperatures around the bay are chilly too, right around 60 degrees in both San Francisco and in Oakland. As we go through the rest of tonight, those temperatures are going to drop off to the mid to upper 50s. This is a little above average for this time of year, but we'll try to warm up through the day tomorrow. But the cloud cover associated with that storm system, even if it doesn't squeeze out much moisture, it is going to keep a lid on how much we warm up. Only mid to upper 60s to around 70 degrees. I think San Jose would be the warm spot on the map, just barely above 70. So everybody running about 3 to 7 degrees below what's normal for this time of year. And there's more of that in the extended forecast. Our adoptable dog of the day from Lily's Legacy is Copper, and those sweet eyes are adoptable. I'll put up a link on his information right after this weathercast. Again, chance of showers in the morning, so maybe not the best dog walking time frame, but I don't think you need the rain jacket or the umbrella. We are going to see more clouds and sunshine the rest of the day, but your furry friends aren't going to mind those cooler temperatures, only reaching up into the 60s for Copper there in Petaluma. A noticeable breeze throughout the day tomorrow as well, especially during the afternoon. Some of the strongest wind gusts are going to be in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range, which isn't overly windy by Bay Area standards, but this isn't typically a very breezy time of year. So it will be something you notice, and then the winds should back down as we head through the day on Thursday. And then we look ahead to the weekend and our next rain chance. We'll start our side-by-side forecast model comparison. We're still at that point in the forecasting process because it's several days down the line. We'll start Friday as the sun goes down when we're still dry, but we'll see some showers sneaking in at least to the North Bay Friday night. The American forecast model, much wetter on Saturday. European forecast model says some morning showers Saturday, and then we catch a few dry hours during the afternoon. And then they trade places on Sunday, where the European forecast model, much wetter for the second half of the weekend, while the American model tries to dry things out. Overall, we have a great deal more faith in the European forecast models. It's just more skilled, but it can't ever rule out the possibility that maybe the American model has latched onto something. They do agree that we dry out completely as we head into early next week. And we're not talking about a lot of rain total. This is the estimate from the Weather Prediction Center, and the range is from less than 1/10 of an inch in some of the rain-shadowed spots like Mountain View and San Jose to a little short of a 1/2 inch of total rainfall around Santa Rosa. So it's just not a lot in general. Here's the forecast for the next 7 days, and you see temperatures are going to go back up once the clouds clear out Thursday and Friday, but inland, the warmest days are just going to be in the mid-70s, which is pretty close to where we're supposed to be this time of year. With the showers over the weekend, that's when temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler, only in the upper 60s inland, and bayside temperatures are also going to be cooler. Let's see if we can get the Bay forecast to pop in. Well, one of it did. There we go. Okay, temperatures are going to reach up only into the mid-60s at the Bay and then back up to above 70 degrees as we head into early next week. All sorts of gremlins in the system here. And the coastal forecast, maybe. Temperatures reaching up only to the low 60s on those rainiest days, Saturday and Sunday. Jules?
All right, Paul, thanks so much. And when we come back, it is the first for Bay FC and then the Valkyries. I'm coming through.
Okay.
Now the Bay Area is getting pro women's basketball. We'll have more when we come back. The Golden State Valkyries and Bay FC have quickly garnered huge followers, and the Bay Area continues to expand professional women's sports. This time it's on the diamond. So the Women's Professional Baseball League has unveiled its first 4 teams, and that includes San Francisco. There's no team name yet, but look at this. Purple seems to be the theme here. Other cities include LA, New York, and Boston. The inaugural season plans to launch next year. Games will be played at a neutral venue, which will be announced at a later date. Stay tuned. CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. We're always streaming on our streaming service, and we're back here at 7 o'clock with more local news just for you.